All right, just thought I'd bring something kind of strange happening, kind of a current event kind of thing with the coronavirus going on right now, and people freaking out, and apocalypse, just really panicking and freaking out. And one thing is, I'm not, and there's kind of a reason for it is, and this is going to relate back to the very first Strange Happening video I put out there. My Strange Happening number one, I put out there the very first one on November 12th, put out there. And it's going to reference specifically in that video around 6 minutes and 30 seconds. At the point there, at 6 minutes, 30 seconds into the video, this is going to be that reference. At that time, I mentioned this isn't the only time this is happening, kind of going outside. This is going to be kind of crazy. This is kind of like an astral travel kind of thing, going outside of time, seeing the bubble of time that the entire universe is in kind of thing. It's a big, grand thing that I haven't really got a lot into. But seen that a couple of times. And how things begin, how things end, and all this kind of stuff. And around that point, I quickly mentioned when I came into this life, I came in toward the end of things. I mentioned this in Strange Happening 1 at 6 minutes and 30 seconds. I wanted to see what it's like near the end of all things. I want to see how people reacted and were responding. And all this with the coronavirus is the beginning of that. This coronavirus stuff that people are freaking out about, to me, when I see it, this is like the harmonic tremors before the volcano erupts, or this is the sea pulling away from the beach before the tsunami hits. This is a minor indication of what's to come. It's the beginning of something much bigger that's going to happen. Now, I'll be dead when this happens, because that was part of the deal. Is when I came in here, I wanted to be near the end, but not at the end. I wanted to be close to the end just to see what people were doing, how people were reacting, and what they would do. So that's where we're at now. This coronavirus thing isn't the end of all things. It's just kind of a wake-up call, if you want to put it that way. It's just the beginning. It's just a hint of things to come, what's going to happen. So this is the beginning of it. And I remember that from back then. So this is the way it feels. And this is may also be part of it is I am getting older and maybe feeling that we're getting near the end of things. And at the most of several of these videos, when I started putting out all these videos streaming, I mentioned several times that intuition is telling me it's time. It's time. So that's what I'm doing is I'm putting this out there, and I don't know if people will be able to hear some of what I'm saying mixed in with all of this, because there's a very huge piece I'm not putting out here. I'm not going to put out here. It's way too far out there for people to even grab. Even this is way far out there. All these strange happenings is way far out there for pretty much everybody. But there's an even larger piece. I mentioned in, I have a video out there on Strange Happenings. I forget the number of it. I don't know if it's 23, 25, somewhere, 24, somewhere out there, Strange Happening 24. It's called The Dark Side. And I briefly mentioned in that one, the reason I flipped over to the dark side for a bit, just feeling dark, is because I had done something so positive, massively, massively positive. And that is to try to create a link between what's going to happen and what comes after. So I'm trying to create a link. So there's no way to stop what's coming. You can't stop it. It's not going to stop. It's already written. It's done. But there may be a way, a workaround, if you want to call it a workaround. So I'm working on a workaround. It's kind of interesting for things. I can't stop what's going to happen, but there may be a workaround. I like thinking outside the box, if you haven't noticed. So for this coronavirus, I just see it as this is just foreshadowing. Basically, it's foreshadowing of something coming. And people don't see it yet. No one's seen it yet. And it's coming. And the big event will happen. I'll be dead. I won't be able to see that big event. And that was this life I chose, was to be near the end, but not at the end. So that's the way I look at it. It's kind of different. I know there's a huge piece of the strange happenings, a very, very big piece that I'm not going to put out here. I've hinted at it a couple of times. People will not have caught it. And, but anyway, so that's it for this strange happening. Just kind of a interesting current event. My neighbor was talking to me across the fence the other day. He was a little panicked and freaked out, and I'm just like, I'm not, and this is why I'm not. And I couldn't explain it to him. I tried mentioning a little bit, but people just can't hear. They don't have the ears to hear. So, oh well, just take another step forward. Keep moving on.